Hi everybody. It is Saturday and I have the house all to myself, and because my kids are gone, they're going to their grandparents. My wife is at the gym and then she's going to the grocery store, so I have the house all to myself, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to make a video to show off all these great comics I've got over the last few weeks. And it's like everything that I don't want to happen in a video happens. Somebody knocks at the door, the phone rings, you know, something always happens, but it actually has turned out pretty good. This is the 5th time I've tried to make this video this morning, but it worked out really good because one book that I've been waiting for got here. So we're going to do an unboxing of this one, and then I'm going to show you everything else I got too. And hopefully this will be a little bit shorter than my last one I tried. The last video I tried, I was already at like 16 minutes, and I still had a lot of books left to go. And so I'm going to do this without cutting myself a hope, because this guy packed this thing like a pro, because he is a pro. So, to let you know what's kind of going on, Walking Dead 100 just came out. If you've been living under a rock or you don't read comics, you may not have known that. Goodness gracious. So, with it coming out, it was released the same week of San Diego Comic-Con. And if you live on the West Coast and have the opportunity to go to San Diego, I'm so happy for you. For those of us on the East Coast who couldn't afford a ticket or the plane ticket over, we really don't get a chance at a lot of the exclusives that are offered through San Diego Comic-Con. And you know those exclusives show up on eBay for just exorbitant amounts of money. So this year was the first year I actually wanted something from those exclusives. I gotta say, man, he packed this thing awesome. I mean, that's some sturdy bubble right there. With Walking Dead 100 coming out, there were, I think, 9 or 10 regular covers, and then there were these variants. There was the 1 in 200 variant that your comic book shop could get for ordering 200 copies of Walking Dead. And then there was also the Comixology variant, which was the oddly cover in black and white that nobody really knew about until San Diego Comic-Con. There was the Escape variant for doing the Escape event at Petco Field there in San Diego, which I heard was really fun. And believe me, if I'd have been there, I would have taken part in that, because I mean, you're getting chased by zombies, or you got to be a zombie. They could actually dress you up as a zombie. And part of it for actually completing the event was getting the Escape variant to Walking Dead 100. And then there was also a previews exclusive variant, which was a black and white cover, or a gray tone cover really, of the Charlie Adler regular cover to Walking Dead 100. So this guy, he busts tail every year at San Diego Comic-Con. This is Beach Bum Comics off of the CGC message boards. He busts tail, like I said, and he always picks up these variants for folks, and he sells them at a reasonable price. He's not looking to make a fortune off of people. He's just trying to give people the stuff they want. And people were asking him for stuff all weekend, and from what I could see, he was busting tail to get around the show floor to find all these exclusives for folks. And one of the ones he picked up for me was the black and white Walking Dead 100 previews exclusive. So to Beach Bum, Dre, thank you so much for being able to pick that up for us and everything else you did for all of us on the CGC message boards. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's look at some more of the Walking Dead 100 since I've already got this video rolling. I had talked at great lengths in the video that I couldn't finish because of the mailman stopping about Walking Dead 100. My LCS, which isn't technically my LCS anymore, ordered all of them for me except for the 1 in 200 variant and the Chromium variant. The 1 in 200 variant is a black and white version of this Charlie Adler cover, and the Chromium is the exact same thing, just in Chromium, and at $10. Which I've heard was under-ordered or under-printed, and so all the orders didn't get filled, and I haven't looked on eBay to see what prices are like, but it's probably getting pretty exceptional. Here's another one of the 100 variants. This Frank Quietly cover is just creepy. I mean, that is just an awesome cover. Creepy. It's probably my second favorite cover. And I like this one. I don't know who did this cover. I gotta look it up again. I'm not sure off the top of my head who this is, but it's a good painted cover. Here's another one. Here's the Otley cover, and the Comixology variant I think has Walking Dead in blue, and the rest of it is black and white, and it's a really cool one. It's the hardest to find one right now for completers, because I've seen these for like, or not this one, but I've seen the black and white Comixology variant for like $500-600 on eBay already. And here's the regular Something to Fear Walking Dead 100 cover, and you can see the difference between the two, black and white and the regular. So awesome. And this is probably my favorite cover. This is Todd McFarlane's cover for Walking Dead 100. It's a picture of Rick as a zombie. Laurie's written on the tombstone here. He's got a gun to his head. It's a just awesome cover. So let's talk about the rest of the stuff I got, since I have time now, I guess. And I'm glad that came in because I could put that in this video. I was showing off a lot of books at my LCS, and my LCS is no longer my local comic shop anymore. He has closed his doors. Long story short, it was just a problem with him and his storefront management. The people who own the shopping center and managed it didn't live here. They weren't local. They were, and I've heard this is typical across the country, they were owned by a real estate agency in a larger city up the East Coast, and the management was held in a larger city here in North Carolina, I think Raleigh, and we're 2.5 hours away from Raleigh where we sit right now. And you know, when you have trouble with your air conditioning and you deal with it during this 105, 106 degree heat wave we've been having, you know, and you're not getting the service you need, people are not going to be very happy, and they're going to move. And that's what he did. My LCS owner owns 2 other stores, and I've moved my pull list to one of those stores. I'm just not going to be able to get to it as often, so I'm not going to be able to go once a week. I'm only going to be able to go hopefully once a month, so it'll work out. Things I've been reading, though, that are part of my pull list: Exo Manowar. This is issue 3. This is when he becomes, him and the armor kind of become one. I mean, it was shown in the last page of issue 2. But this time he takes on the Vine, and he shows them who's boss, and he shows them who deserves to wear the Exo armor. It's a good read. I felt like they drug it out a lot longer than they should have, though. And this is a book that I don't think very many people are reading, but they need to start reading. This is Harbinger. Harbinger issue 2. If you're into X-Men, or you like any other team-based comics, this is perfect. If you like people who have special powers and gifts, this is right up your alley. This is all psionic stuff. I mean, he convinces a girl to you know, yeah, he does that in this. And this, I hate that they've gotten rid of that aspect of it already, because they're moving pretty quick in this one compared to Exo, trying to get the story moving. And there were things I wish they really would have delved into a little bit more, like his relationship with this girl that he knew as a kid. I'm talking about Pete, which is this guy right here, and this is Toyo Harada, who is such a he has such psychic abilities that he can make people think he's a dog. So he can talk to Pete, and it's good stuff, man. I mean, this makes me excited about new comic books again, if that tells you anything. This, on the other hand, wants to make me pound my head against a brick wall. Dynamite, put your books out on time. Stop dragging out these dates. It's been like 2 months since the last Dark Shadows book came out. And I know that Francesco has had all the covers done up to issue 12 for a while now. Put your books out on time, because I've stopped reading this. I've stopped this on my pull list because I just don't feel like holding $4 hostage for 2 months straight at a time, when I could be putting that $4 towards another book that might actually be put out on time. So put your books out on time, Dynamite. Jeez. And I'm the biggest Dark Shadows fan in the world, and that just really irritates the fire out of me. If you're not reading Spawn, and nobody is, because, I mean, the print run is extremely low on all these issues, it's really good again. Todd is back doing a lot of this work. You know, at issue 220, I think it was, they had this big celebration, and there was a lot of variant covers. But I mean, it's pretty good, and they're promising to get books out on time, and so far they've been holding it up. unlike Dynamite, on the other hand. The other book I'm reading, and I just put this on my pull list, Uncanny X-Force. I pulled this out of my LCS's back issue bins because it's the variant to issue 15, and I like collecting these variants. And I originally had the intention of selling this on eBay because it's like I paid cover for it. I paid $3.99 for a variant. Actually, with my discount, it was a lot less than that. But anyway, I was going to put it on eBay because I've seen these going anywhere from $15 to $20, or at least asked for that amount. But now I'm going to keep this for my own collection because I kick myself now because I had a copy of Uncanny X-Force number 4 that I actually sold on eBay back before Heroescon to raise some money for Heroescon. This is Uncanny X-Force 19. Haven't read this yet. This is part of Regenesis. This is whenever the two X-Men teams, or the X-Men team diverted and split, and Wolverine had his group with Kitty Pryde, and then Cyclops and the White Queen had their team, and this is all part of that storyline going on there. I haven't read this yet. I just pulled this off the rack at my LCS before he was closing his doors. So I am, however, reading it from issue 27, and this is the book that made me say, okay, I need to be reading this. I need to start this on my pull list. It's good stuff. That and this issue looks like they're trying to divert a feature that they don't like, which doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't that sound like Days of Future Past? It's what it kind of reminds me of, and it's a really good read. Here's another one I'm going to start reading too. I picked this up because this is another one I was going to put on eBay, but daggone it, I decided to read it, and Scott Snyder is doing a phenomenal job with Batman. You guys probably already know that because everybody's reading this. I didn't read Court of Owls, though. I just picked up this one because I knew this one went to like 3 or 4 printings, and copies of the first print are getting harder and harder to find, and it was still on my LCS's shelf, so I picked it up, but I read it, and now I'm probably going to start reading Batman again. Now, let's look at some back issues I've bought. I buy a lot of my books back issues off the CGC message boards, and if you're not a member, you need to become one because, as I've said in other videos, the CGC message boards are where the comic dealers hang out, and they sell stuff at very reasonable, great prices. And so they'll have sales, and it'll be books that you'll typically find for, back issues that may have some value at deep discounts versus what Overstreet, or you could even find them on eBay sometimes. So, I find a lot of my Uncanny X-Men stuff on there, and I got a good run of stuff for 50 cents a piece. This is issue 159, and then I also picked up issue 160. This is just huge holes in my X-Men run. In great shape too. I mean, we're not talking about beaters. These aren't reader copies. These are at least very fine or better for some of them. Maybe fine because there's a little bit of spine roll from where they've been stacked, but that could be pressed out if I ever really wanted to. This one's 161. At 50 cents a piece, you can't beat that. 177. I mean, my LCS had most of these anywhere from $2 to $3. 196. Excuse me, 196. This is part of Secret Wars 2, and I think I'm the only person on the planet who actually kind of likes Secret Wars 2. Let's see, 197 with the great Doctor Doom cover. 207. It's a great Wolverine cover. And 222, which has a classic cover of Wolverine versus Sabretooth. I actually have a copy of this already, but at 50 cents, I think I paid like $3 or $4 for my copy. All these early Sabretooth Wolverine fights are highly desirable, so picked up an extra copy of that. Haven't read Fall of the Mutants, but I want to, and that's why I bought the run. 225, 226, 227. My hand got tired, so I'm switching hands. And the fallout from it in 228. Alright, let's see. Some more random issues I picked up. Some of these came off of eBay. Some of them came off of the CGC boards again. I know this one came off the CGC boards. This is Predator #1. I like Predator. I was disappointed, though, this wasn't in black and white. I thought it'd be a black and white comic book from way back when, but it wasn't. It's actually in full color. It ties into the original Predator movie, though, which is pretty cool. I love variants, and I wanted the Hitch variant to Secret Invasion #1, so at 50 cents I couldn't pass it up. And that's my only copy of issue 1 of Secret Invasion. If you've ever seen the original Iron Man movie and you remember the Ironmonger with Obadiah, it was loosely based off of Iron Man 200, which has him versus the Ironmonger. I don't like Thor. Nothing against him as a character. I just can't get into him. But I do really like Michael Turner, so I got the Michael Turner cover to Thor #1. And I also love Arthur Sudam's painted zombie covers, so I got the variant with the Sudam zombie variant as well. 50 cents a piece. You can't complain about that. I'm trying to put this older Swamp Thing run together, so I'm slowly, gradually getting copies of some of these books. This is issue 13. And I got this one off eBay. This is Strange Adventures, issue 234. I got it because of the cover. I just think the story looks awesome. It says, "Colder, colder, freeze me at absolute 0 or I'll die." And you see him in a big block of ice there. It's a cool story. It's not. There's a bunch of different stories in here. It's a 52-pager. It's not just Adam Strange. So I decided to pick that one up too. I only got it for 99 cents off eBay. I use a bid sniper called Gixon, and I put in what my max bid what I'd want my max bid to be, so I don't have to worry about it being bidded up, so people can't see what my max bid is going to be. And basically, what the bid sniper does is that about 5 seconds before the auction is to end, it comes in and just puts in your max bid. So you're not playing this game with people who are trying to shill your bid up with one of their second accounts or anything like that. So 99 cents, couldn't beat it. And I got some other books from the same seller, so I'll show those to you in just a second. Picked this one up off eBay, and this one actually came from Canada. So to our friends up north, I got my copy of Weird War Tales #1 now. Trying to put together a good run of it. It's not in good shape. It's fair condition, but I mean, $5. I'm not gonna complain. It fills a hole. This is another one that I got from that same eBay seller. I had a copy of 217 that I got at Heroescon of Strange Adventures, and I wanted 218 because it's another Neil Adams cover, and it's just an awesome looking cover. They're reprints of the Mystery in Space Strange Adventures books that were done back in like the 50s and 60s of Adam Strange. And Dark Shadows, this is issue, I think this is issue 4. Pretty sure there were 9 issues. The first 9 issues had photo covers, and I want to say this was issue 4 because this one did not have a poster, and it's in great shape. This is the reason that I got books from that seller, because this is just a great looking book. It's in tip-top shape. All right, Dynamite. Gold Key put out 35 issues of this book, and I'm pretty sure most of them were on time. Put your junk out on time, Dynamite. God. All right, now let's get to some really good stuff. I've got 2 books left. All right, one of these is a grail. It's something I was tickled to get. Again, I'm trying to put together a great run of Uncanny X-Men. I want to do the whole Claremont run. That's my goal. But as most of you know, when you get from 94 on up to Days of Future Past, which ends at 142, those books in between there are pretty pricey when you get them in high grade. And so I pick up copies at any opportune time I can. You know, I got my 94 at Heroescon. I showed you that in my previous video. So I'm trying to fill in some issues. My next goal is to get a copy of 101, which is the first appearance of Phoenix. Not Dark Phoenix, but just the first appearance of Phoenix. This guy didn't have one on the CGC boards, but he did have a copy of 102, which is kind of tied into that first issue. It's got Juggernaut in it too, which I thought was really cool. So I picked up a copy of that for like $10. And at Heroescon, these books were going for like 20 all day long in the same grade. And my grail. Still dealing with X-Men. Long story short, the guy had this on the CGC boards, showed off this haul of books he paid $100 for off of Craigslist, and there was one book that he just kind of showed, and I sent him a message saying, "Hey, are you going to sell these?" And he said, "Sure." And I said, "Well, how much are you going to sell this one for?" And he told me, and I was like, how fast can I PayPal you and can you get it sent to me? Because this was a book that dealer in the same grade, practically the same grade. Now I'm not, books vary, but practically the same grade was asking 3 times for at Heroescon, and I just couldn't afford that at the time. But I could afford this one, and it's a low grader. It's not anything fine or better. It's below that, but it's mine now, and I'm happy to have it. It's a grail off my list. Giant size X-Men #1. So happy about this. You guys just don't know. When it came in the mail the other day, I mean, I was like a little schoolgirl. I was just so happy to see it show up. Very happy with it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I know that this hasn't been the greatest or most eloquent video I've ever made. I hope you guys like the fact that it's not wobbly like my other videos are. I hope you can hear me better. That's a big thing. I've noticed the sound quality with my camera hasn't been the best, so I'm hoping the sound quality on my wife's mic on her laptop is a little bit better. Do a few things for me. Rate it. Tell me if you like it or not. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you'd like to see in the future. If you'd like to see what my comic book collection looks like, let me know. I want to make this more interactive. I get some good comments from folks, and I do appreciate those. Get a lot of feedback on my early Mile High video, with my Mile High comics that I bought, and I'm really happy about that. Watch my other videos. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see, and enjoy the Olympics, guys. Take care.